Hey ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Raynday Gaming. My name is Raynday, and today we're taking on another Dare Me video about Aries. That's right, the new Fernando Aries skin is going to be showcased today, and the dare is Full Aura Aries, or in another way you might call him Carries. That's right, because this god does so much damage. Oh my god, it makes me want a salsa in Chile. I gotta say, this god right now, who is a guardian, people, can do so much damage. It is, you want to hear these numbers? Let's hear these numbers. Hold on, one second. Shackles, number one. Aries throws some chains out. Chains extend from Aries' shield, doing damage to all enemies in its path. Hitting a god shackles them to Aries, cripples them, preventing movement abilities, dealing the same damage every second while slowing them and buffing Aries. While shackled, Aries can find another chain for free within 2 seconds. Do you want to know how much damage this can do if you hit all 3 chains? This can deal 420 damage, plus 60% of your magical power. Oh, you thought that was for all 3? No, that's for one chain. So for 3 chains, you can get over 1,200 damage easily onto a target. And you can fire your fire while you're using your chains as well. So you wonder why Aries 100 to zeros you when he hits his chains onto you. That's why. Not only that, you get a speed buff of 15% for Aries, and you get slowed by 15%. And if he hits a unique shackle onto someone else, that slow turns in from 15 to 30%. And if he hits another one, it turns from 30 to 45%. Can you believe the amount of damage this guy can do, all the while buffing his movement speed to 45% and dealing that constant damage to you guys? Now, again, if he's shackling more people, he's going to gain more movement speed. You're going to be slowed more, but you won't be taking all the damage from the 3 chains. So that is at least a little bit of a saving grace there. But wow, people are calling for an Aries nerf, and no, he doesn't need a nerf. But most people can't take advantage of this in a professional level way. But I gotta tell you, it makes me want to be, not only because of this Fernando skin, but because of how much damage this god can do and how much fun it is to play in that guardian role and support your teammates and be a big pivotal part of a win. Aries is like one of my favorite guardians right now because, you know, you just, obviously I'm in love with the skin. And if you guys heard the actual game audio underneath this, which is just me and a bunch of people playing and talking nonsense, and my mic is a little off, which is why I didn't just upload it that way. But I'm absolutely, every second I blow the fire, I'm like, dude, this fire is so cool. It looks exactly like the fire from the game Paladins. And this is a skin where you can get, if you have the Founders Pack of Paladins, you get this skin. So it's very cool. For those of you who play Paladins, you're going to be able to access this. If you have the Founders Pack, immediately it'll be on your account. So it's very, very cool. I'm going in for the chains here onto the Loki, and we'll see, what does it also mean? What's Aries' abilities? Why is Full Aura even a dare, guys? Let's get into the real reason we're here. We're talking about damage, but let's get into the real reason we're here. And trust me, we've still not talked about his fire. That's damage enough. But the reason Aries is here as well is because Aries' passive, Full Aura, gives him a unique ability. If he builds an aura item, Aries gains 30 additional magical power. So, you know, you have 6 item slots. So what that means is you can basically gain 180 magical power by building full defensive aura items. So that's pretty ridiculous. That's pretty amazing for a guardian who does a lot of damage to still be able to get that damage by building very, you know, meta aura items like sovereignty and stuff like that, and still be able to buff his magical damage. You know, a lot of guardians cannot do that and do not have the ability to build magical damage and still support their teammates in the same way, whereas Aries does. And so that's one of the reasons you may want to pick up Aries, because he has this kind of flexibility, but rarely do you see people go full aura. Not every item is aura. A lot of other things, you know, you might go full cooldown. You might see that as they do get the cooldown boots here. But no, this game, we're going full aura. We're going to see how that works. I'm pretty much going to build actually an interesting item here at Pythagorem. But you see the 1 chain. I missed my 2nd chain, which is a little derpy, but I'm still getting plenty of damage onto that Bologna with my flames as well. And we basically just call it a draw. Now, the one thing I do want to mention about my gameplay here with Aries that I did realize after reading about Aries a lot more, and I can't tell you how good it is to go ahead and read as I get the blink onto the Loki. I know his beads are down. I say, guys, let's go. I hit 1 chain. The 2nd chain comes out, and I do get the kill onto Blacksteel 928 for the first kill as I initiated there onto him, going in with my ultimate, pulling him back, knowing his beads were down. Such an important factor. 2 things I was saying there, reading the tooltips of the gods so you know how they work. If you really just pay attention, as I'm getting my 1 chain, my 2 chains, my 2nd, my 3rd chain misses, and so I'm not able to get that damage enough But the idea is that this, guys, if you go ahead and you read your god's abilities, and it's a god you haven't played, or it's a god that you know about but you haven't played yourself, understanding the inner mechanics, when you really take like 5 minutes just to read it and understand it and think about it, you will probably have much better experience, and you'll learn a lot of the things you guys want to learn here a lot faster. Now, I'm not saying don't watch my videos. I think it still helps to see people doing it, but I want to mention to you, I'm using my 2 in the wrong way. I am, and it's because I didn't really read the tooltips my own. I read them for you guys because I really want to explain it well. But it's one of the things I found that is very valuable to read those tooltips, because then you'll know exactly what your god is meant to do. It's all in the kit. It's a little bit of, these designers design these gods to be used, their abilities to be used in a certain way. And that is all, like the secret is in the writing. It's right in front of you. As I get 1 chain on the Poseidon, 2 chains on the Loki, and he's going again. Oh, the 3rd invisible chain. Dear God, somebody stop this. Man, I got 2 invisible chains on that Loki. Get hype. Wow. That is some serious chain shot there, baby. So that Fernando skin looking good, and the Loki's still here. I get 1 chain onto the Loki, another invisible chain onto the Loki, and then a chain onto the Chiron, giving myself that full movement speed buff. But I run away, and those chains, they do not have unlimited distance. So if I back up too far, then those chains will deactivate, and I will lose all the buffs I'm getting and stop doing all of that damage. But now I see over here the Nox and the Bellona are in a bad spot. I'm coming over, got my ultimate. I want to go ahead. Bellona with her hammer trying to finish me off, but I get the ultimate off onto both of them, forcing 2 purifications. And that means my ult up in 88 seconds. Their purifications are up in 140. And so I'm going to be looking for them in about a little bit more than a minute to go ahead and attack. And of course, now they don't have anything to deal with these beads. I'm going 1, 2, 3. I've got my 3rd chain. Now I've got the fire. This Bellona's life bar is being deleted all of a sudden, and now we've got to go ahead and dive into it. But I can't, because the Loki is here and he's coming over, and we do not have enough. I don't have the movement speed from anything, and I'm really scared about this Loki. And he comes onto me. I hit him with the chain. He ults me now, and I get taken down. Black Steel 928 getting his revenge. Ult for ult. I took him out with mine, and he took me out with his, unfortunately, there. And that was just a little bit unfortunate that I was not able to get the damage off onto the Bellona and get the kill. I wanted it, and then I realized, the Loki's rotating a little too late, and that's always a problem. You see the Mark of the Vanguard start for me. I wanted to mention that quickly. I like it in Clash because I love aggressing as a Guardian. I love being in between both lanes, and sometimes that means coming in when they least expect it, when the minions wave pushed. The minion wave is not pushed yet. And when you take that minion damage, that the Mark of the Vanguard really helps to reduce the impact that minions have on you early game. That's pretty much the point of it, to reduce the impact that minions are having on me. I've got my ult, my blink available. I've got my fire. I missed my chain, but Black Steel 928, I get the revenge kill onto him, and he realizes he shouldn't have been messing around with an Aries up. And now my ult's up in 7 seconds. I see the Bellona and the Poseidon here, but a great flip up. And of course, the ultimate comes out onto the Poseidon, but Crit gets the kill as well. And look at these chains. 1, 2, 3. We're going in on the Bellona now, and I've got my fire. This should be a dead Bellona. I do get the kill. I'm a guy. Gets down. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude, cause we're all dudes, yeah, I'm a dude, come on, he's a dude, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger, can I take your order? Oh man, Keenan and Kel, I forgot all about that until I realized I'm a guy, that I don't know why, but now I'm baiting them with the ult. I say, guys, come on, let's go, I've got the ult. However, Nox gets portaled out, but we do pull the Chiron. He activates his beads a little too late, and I get all 3 chains on them with a fire, and that's all she wrote, even though the dunk down does come on from tier, and now the Loki decides to ult me, but I'm a little bit too tanky to survive. Oh man, no, I'm not. Black Steel gets the kill again. Stop killing me, man. Gosh, we're going back and forth. Me and this Loki are just having it, man. But I see, the first item I'm picking up here is Sovereignty, which just got a buff. The buff is that it now provides more utility to your teammates. So Sovereignty used to provide 20 physical protections to your teammates, but now it provides 30. And so that is a very, very big increase in terms of you're looking at an entire team. That's 50 more protections you've added to your team in that aura. And for those of you who don't know what aura items are, it's pretty much what an aura means in real life. Like, how an aura is a part of, it's like you're outside of your body. Like maybe somebody has a big aura that you can tell they have like a, kind of a presence about them. It's the same way in Smite. If you're near a god who's got an aura item, you take on the effects of that aura. So aura items are very good for the team. They're very focused on team fighting and being that guardian role. That's why you see a lot of guardians, sometimes warriors, but a lot of guardians pick up aura items because they're either there to, hurt the team, or they're there to, go ahead and help your teammates when they stay near you in a fight. Now, I've got Blink, and I've also got the blue buff, which means I'm going to have full cooldown. I want to go for the Chiron. I hit one chain, I hit a second chain, and I do miss the rest of that, but the fire's coming out, and Fueguito gets the kill, and Chiron actually dashes to the left, which is why I missed that. I was thinking he was going to try and go back to his base, but the thing is, the cripple, the movement, he can't use his dash, can't use anything like that. He's slowed, so now he's in a bad spot. Now, I see the Nox over there, and the Loki just disappeared. I wonder where he went. Oh, and it looks like I go ahead for the blink in and the 3-man ult, and I don't get any of them, but I get 3 purification beads, and that for me is a win. That is a win, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what? Those purifications, they're up in 140 seconds. What? I'm up, and I see the Loki going ahead and aggressing onto the tier, but a fantastic heal from that tier to stay alive. And now I'm going onto the Bologna with the fire, and man, that's doing quite a bit of damage there. And I've got my 2. I'm saying, guys, we got to go in now. Willix blinks in, the Bologna forcing the dash. The ult comes out from the Janice, and Moody Cheats get the kill, going ham on that on her. I heard that Ocean's had a crazy on her performance. I'm gonna have to watch that. I haven't had time with the Clash tournament yet, but I'm gonna have to check that out because man, it looks good. The Chiron gets portal, and I've got my chain set up. That's 1, that's 2, that's fire. And Chiron, you dead, boy. You dead, and you dead, and you dead. But guess what? You should have turned around and shot me, man. Chiron basically returns back to life if he can shoot someone and kill someone in his ultimate for the amount of damage that he does. So I had 200 health. His ult, if he just turned around and shot me, he wasn't aware, but that probably would have killed me. So I'm going back to base. I'm going to pick up Pythagorem's piece. What that's going to do is give me 20 magical power and 10% magical lifesteal to all of my allies nearby. Why do I pick that up? Because my Janus crit is doing very well. And I also want him to benefit from my power. And I also want to gain a little bit more power. I thought it was a little bit more of an offensive choice, and I like that. You notice I have 180 magical power right now. And I've built Mark of the Vanguard, Shoes of Focus, and Pythagorem's piece, basically. Those are the Shoes of Focus and Pythagorem's piece, 180 magical power between those 2 items. That would never happen. But of course, because I've got the auras around them, that's an extra 60 magical power that I've got that I would have had. Now the bull is trying to get away, but I've got my ultimate, and that does do damage, so I get the double kill there on the Blacksteel, and also I'm a guy, I'm a dude, and that gives me a 7-2 scoreline. Oh my god, carries in full effect. This Dare Me is working out, guys. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Everyone says mash that like button. No, it doesn't matter, but do leave a like if you do enjoy this and enjoy the series. I love to know that you guys like this content and like certain things, so it's great to see. And the Chiron dashing, but whoa, I hit the chain, and you see the cripple there, and he goes down with the help of another ballista bolt from our Olympian tower, and man, oh man, this is just too good. Now let's talk about Aries' number 2. The reason I was using the number 2 incorrectly, guys, is this. When you use the number 2, it provides a couple of things. It provides 30% reduction in cooldown in CC. So let's say I get stunned. If I have my number 2 active while I'm stunned, it will give me a 30% faster retreat from that stun. So that stun will last 30% less onto me. It does not affect things that have happened before activate my number 2. So if I get stunned for 1 second, or let's say 0.99 seconds, and then I use my number 2, I will still be stunned for 0.99 seconds. But if I use my number 2 and then I get stunned for 0.99 seconds, then I will be stunned for only 0.66 seconds because I've used my number 2 before. You see what I'm saying? It works when it's activated. It lasts for 8 seconds. Now, the other thing is it's a buff of physical protections. Physical and magical protections up to 40. But here's the thing. You can increase that. How? By shackling opponents with your chains. That's right. So if you activate your number 2 when you go into a fight, and then you throw your chains, as I blink in and get 2 beads on not only the Chiron, I get the Chiron beads and the ultimate. That's a dead Chiron. I'm trying to go for him. I get the kill with the fire, and Bologna, she's taking a lot of damage. Moody Cheats throws him out, and he gets the kill crit as well, finishing that off, getting credit for that on I'm a Guy, and we're 28-8, 50,000 gold to 42,000 gold, and we in 13 minutes are almost taking the first Phoenix here. The Loki trying to do something. Blacksteel 928. You better watch out because that Janus Unstable Vortex just half-lifed you, buddy, and now the Phoenix is here. We're aggressing onto it. The Clash tournament was a success this last weekend, and now you're seeing some real Clash gameplay from me, who I told you guys, man, VM Dog had a great Aries, but man, this is carries right here. This is Aries going in, guys, and I'm building defense items. Come on. The only real damage item I have is Pythagorem's piece, and that's not really even a damage item. I mean, that's a utility damage item. That's not even a full damage item, So it's just unbelievable what's happening, and I know the Loki. I saw him disappear. I know he's going for crit. I wanted him to use it as bait, but I didn't think crit would die, and now I go in on the Loki. That's 1 chain, that's 2 chains, that's 3 chains, and wow, that's just a dead Loki if I ever saw one. And now crit and Fueguito coming in onto Iron Guy, the Bellona. The Bellona gonna have to ult here, and she does, but I got my chains up in 1 second, and it's done. Crit with a fantastic snipe, looking like Canessa from Paladins, or better yet, Mark Wahlberg from that movie where he's a sniper. Do you guys remember that one where he's like going across the boat? He's going across a river in a boat, and he's a sniper. You guys remember that? Is it called Sniper? Maybe it's called Sniper. Oh my God. Anyways, he's great snipe there. I'm 10, 2, and 9, and now this is exactly what I want. Oh man, this Chiron is looking scared. I hit 1 chain on him. I missed my other chain because I thought he was gonna dodge. Like, I felt like he was gonna dodge to the right, but I guess he was just trying to run the most direct path, and sometimes the path of least resistance is the best there. You see the Poseidon here pops his Whirlpool, and Outlaw 7 is in trouble. I do get the last hit though, but Prometheus gets credit for the kill, as he probably should have, doing most of the work there. And I'm saying, guys, let's go ahead and do Fire Giant. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. We have the opportunity to take the stuff after the stuff, which is when you win a team fight and you've got teammates down, you got an advantage in your team, go ahead and turn it into getting an objective. And if they try and fight you, you can always turn and fight, and you'll have the numbers advantage. That's why it makes sense to try and go get the stuff after the stuff. But Prometheus is tanking it and actually gets hit and dies. So we have 4 of our teammates, actually 3 of our team members, getting the Fire Giant instead of 5, which is okay because that's a good buff, and I'm doing pretty dang well. So the 2, like I said, when you use it, you get the 33% reduction, but you also get a bonus of protections when you shackle an enemy. So the idea is for each shackle enemy, the protection buff is increased, so I can increase that by 7 each shackle enemy. So it's not that I hit a chain once, twice, and 3 times. And yes, I could have hit a chain and stolen that kill, but I did not want to do that to Moody, who was playing great. I've got my ultimate, and there's 4 people nearly grouped up here, and so they want to be very careful. Moody gets the kill on the Outlaw as well. I've got my fire, and I want to go in for this ultimate. My blink is almost up, so I'm pretending that I'm going to the other side. I'm getting ready to try and blink in over the wall to get them, and I'm trying to figure this out, but Nox is here. Oh, wow, she roots me here, and it looks like, oh my God, Bellona's here as well, and she stops me from basic attacking, which what? You don't basic attack as an Aries. That never happens. But Fueguito is here as well. I got my ult, and it looks like Nox jumps into, oh wow, and the pull doesn't happen because they both use their beads. Now they didn't both have to use their beads in that manner because Nox, who was in, well, I'm just thinking about it. I get the number 1, I kill Nox. We'll talk about that later. I really don't care too much about that scenario. I just wanted to say, guys, when you hit multiple enemies and you have your number 2 up, you will gain 7 protections per enemy that you hit. That is pretty much all I want to say. And that is the way, ideally, to be using it because you get the 33% reduction. Use it like when you're going into a fight. Like Hercules is number 3. A lot of people ask, do I use that before a fight, after a fight? Well, it gives you base healing. So if you're running away from the fight and you want some base healing, yes, use it, right? You've low health, use it, of course. If you're running away from the fight, Aries, and you want some more protections, use it. But if you're about to engage, use it as well, because then if you hit your shackles, you're going to gain an extra 21 protections almost onto that. You see the Poseidon here. Look at this. Poseidon's dead. He's gone, man. You can't withstand that damage. Now, here's the thing. Up to 8 seconds, you can have somebody basically shackled and CC'd from your number 1. People say, wait, it lasts 4 seconds. 4 times 3, that's 12. But no, you have to fire within 2 seconds. So that means that basically you are going to get have to fire at every 2 seconds of your chain. And look like the Loki, man. He's done. He's dead. That's 13 and 2. Oh my God. It's like nobody can stop me, man. It's nobody can stop me. And Black Steel goes down as well. So, you know, if I'm doing my chain, and then in 2 seconds, I shoot it again. That means I have another 4 seconds leading me to 6 seconds. But in between that time, at 4 seconds, I got to fire my 3rd chain. And so that would mean I'd have from 4 to 8 seconds. And then obviously you can't fire more than 3 chains. And so it would be 8 seconds max. That's at least what I understand it to be. Let me know if that's different in the comment section below. But you guys see the combo from the 1 to the fire. It's unreal. I've got full Heartward, full sovereignty. I've got the health to boot with this build. And I've got the Pythagorem piece. I've just picked up the Void Stone, but I decided, you know what, man, maybe I should go for a Witchblade because of the Loki. I'm trying to figure out which one. These are the items you have if you want to do full aura Aries. You can get the Rod of Asclepius, and that would be kind of weird, but maybe valuable if you have somebody like a Hell on your team. Mystical Male is like a usual good choice because you're chaining people, you're near them, you're getting that extra damage. Voidstone would be kind of good. Well, Voidstone's good, but I was actually looking to sell Mark of the Vanguard, but again, wasn't even able to show you that, guys. Can you believe that? Aries, so strong. Full aura, even stronger. I mean, really good. Like, you guys might be able to use this and have a lot of success with this build. But geez, the base damage on Aries, are we all like not freaking out about this? Like, I don't think I realized how much damage the chains did. And you look at Searing Flesh is number 3. 280 damage, plus 50% of your magical power. Yeah, that's not too bad. plus 24% of your god's max health. Wait a second. That means if Xing Shan has 4,000 health, or even, let's do 4,000 because that's an easier number, 25% of that is 1,000 damage. Are you saying that number 3 on Aries does 280 damage plus 56% of my magical power plus potentially 1,000 damage on a target? Like, that is insane. Plus, you're doing, if you get all 3 chains onto a target, you're doing 1,200 damage or more from that. So Aries can literally 100-0 a ton of opponents, and honestly, he is not a god you want to fight as a squishy. Getting those chains landing those chains as an Aries is one of the best things you can do and learn how to do, because it will really allow you to play this Guardian in a way that is just so dominating. As you saw VM Dog in the Clash tournament, if you haven't seen that, watch it, guys. It's great. Even skip through some of the games and go to the highlight moments and go to all that stuff. I may put a highlight video out, but I don't know if I want to do that. I may, but I don't know. I have a lot of other things I want to do, and a lot of dare me's, a lot of how to plays, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's my priority. We may end up doing that at some point, but I don't know if that's really what I want to do. But watch it. Maybe at least watch the finals. Watch the first game. Watch a couple games. Watch the finals. VM Dog on that Aries was really showcasing how strong it can be in a competitive scenario. Really good god. You don't see him a lot picked up in the NA SPL. I haven't been watching the EU, so I don't know if he's been there, but he's been more of a favored god in the EU, the Europe SPL, the Smite Pro League over there. But guys, did you enjoy this Aries? Of course, you know how the Aries' ult works. You basically pull people, you get them in that radius, you hit them, and they get pulled after you after 2.5 seconds. You do damage as well, 500 damage, plus 40% of your magical power. So, guys, that's no joke. That's like 650 damage at least in this build that you're just doing, right? So when they purification beads, even if they're below 650 health, they're still gonna die, all right? So Aries, great god, great dare. Thank you guys for these dares, and let me know what the next dare is gonna be in the comments section below. Cannot wait to see it. And if you've got dares from previous videos you want to repost again and get some support on, go ahead and do that. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and being a part of Raynday Gaming. I love you guys viewing it. I love the community we're building. Stay positive. Positive gaming taking over. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. As always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you guys next time.